Greetings, dear viewers, and welcome to my fan commentary on the 25th anniversary episode of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel Dimensions in Danger, where I am premiering the video on the day of Power Rangers' anniversary date, August 28th. This is my first fan commentary on Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel. Basically, Dimensions in Danger is my only favorite episode of Ninja Steel, knowing the fact I still, to this day, despise this season. Oh, Tommy's house is still the same as last we saw it in Dino Thunder. What can I say about this 25th anniversary episode? I mean, when this episode premiered, I didn't watch, again, like I said before, time and time again, I didn't watch Ninja Steel when it really aired or its super season, because during the 2 seasons of this season, I wasn't watching Ninja Steel at all, because I made it clear I was not going to watch the series when it was still going on, and you know how I am personally toward the season in itself, and as well as it's, you know, due to my disdain of its Sentai counterpart. Dimensions in Danger is an absolute step up from Legendary Battle and Once a Ranger, though it still is in the same rut as Legendary Battle in terms of it being a rushed anniversary celebration of the franchise. But at least it's still better than what Megaforce was doing for its 2 whole seasons that was supposed to honor 20 years of Power Rangers. But with Super Ninja Steel, it's, you know, around the time of the series' 25th anniversary, right around when Saban Brands came to an end, and as well as, you know, Bandai, you know, calling it quits with the brand of, you know, the toy license for the show. And also around the time of the 25th anniversary was in the comics with the Shattered Grid saga. So 2018 was not so long ago at the time I'm doing this fan commentary and when this anniversary episode first came out. And basically, I didn't really was going to know that this was going to be exactly what I hoped. But the only difference between Legendary Battle and this, because due to the fact Megaforce and Ninja Steel are part of the Neo Saban era, they really, you know, they actually did something right with this anniversary episode for once, because unlike Legendary Battle and Megaforce, well, Super Megaforce as a whole, we actually got a bunch of Rangers to represent, you know, some Rangers to represent the 3 eras that we had. We had some Rangers from the original Saban era. We have only 1 or 2 Rangers from the Disney era, and only 3 Rangers of the previously past, already bygone era, that being Neo Saban. So what we have is, from the Saban era, Tommy, Rocky, Kat, TJ, and Wes. The Disney era being Trent and Gemma. Neo Saban being Antonio, Gia, and Kota. Along with the, you know, whereas with the Ninja Steel Rangers being the current. Dino Charge's ending, for some reason, had me confused, thinking back to End of Extinction, I really thought Dino Charge was part of, you know, the main timeline of events with the main Power Rangers universe. But now we learn later that thanks to this anniversary episode, now we have 3 different Power Ranger dimensions. You have RPM's dimension, you have Dino Charge's dimension, which wasn't clearly stated until later on, thanks to Kota saying what he said about his dimension of Rangers being from a different parallel Earth. And of course, with Rangers like Wes and Tommy and Gia and Antonio and Trent and them, they're all from the main Power Rangers dimension, where all the teams from Mighty Morphin through Ninja Steel, so forth, are a part of the same universe and same timeline of events. I remember also, for those who saw this episode, and, you know, when we had the 25th anniversary, people were speculating if, you know, since we had Shattered Grid in the comics still going on at the time, people were probably wondering if Lord Draken from the comics should have came along. But again, I've made it clear that with the comics and the TV series, that The comics is its own entity, and the TV show is what we're mainly focused on. But this was still not a point where, okay, well, I mind and amend this anniversary episode, but this was still at a time where I was like, I just don't really care for the show anymore. I mean, just as a Power Rangers fan, you would think that I had already lost interest in the series. In fact, well, let's face it, the TV series at this point was so bad, I'm glad I didn't watch Ninja Steel when it aired. I just waited until the Netflix streams or so to watch Ninja Steel, but it's still a bad season, because knowing most of the majority of all the Neo Saban stuff that I had to suffer and endure in Purgatory, and no wonder I had to stop watching the show until Beast Morphers and Hasbro. I'm at the point where I'm starting to lose how many times we're going to have an evil Tommy. I mean, like, of all the Rangers from the Mighty Morphin era, you know, Tommy was evil when he was the original Green Ranger 25 years prior to this. But then, of course, the only times Tommy is, like, bad is unless if he's under an evil spell by Rita or Zed, or there is an evil clone of Tommy, like, you know, in the Mighty Morphin Mutants episode. Or like in the Hate Master two-parter in season 3, when Tommy was brainwashed to hate each other, hate the other Rangers, much like any of the others. Or like in the Best Man on the Job episode from season 2, when Tommy and Kimberly were at each other's throats. But this is just no exception. Like, how many times we're going to keep seeing another evil Tommy? It's already worse enough in the Boom Studio comics. We keep having an evil Tommy. I almost wonder, I was just thinking about as okay and fine that this anniversary episode is, I personally wish that Dimensions in Danger could have been a lot longer. If this is going to be the big 25th anniversary episode, I was really hoping they should have, like, made it a little longer, like long like the extended Legendary Battle. But since this anniversary episode aired on a primetime slot on the 25th anniversary date of the franchise, that being August 28th, I just wish they could have done an extended version of Legendary Battle, Dimensions in Danger. So we can see how did Lord Draven kidnap the following Rangers to make clones of, evil robot clones of them. And I wish we had more emphasis on the past Rangers interacting with the Ninja Steel Ranger. Basically, this is the kind of anniversary special I could have expected from Power Rangers, especially during Super Mega Force. Even though the Armada was, well, pathetic, and the stuff they did during that anniversary episode was also twice as pathetic. But I think Dimensions in Danger, when I first saw this somewhere online, after a broadcast, probably on Daily Motion somewhere, I'm surprised that this anniversary episode was not as bad as I hoped. But what was bad about it is the amount of focus on Tommy. Knowing that the fact we got, past Rangers, especially Gemma and Coda from their respective Ranger dimensions, with Wes and Antonio and, Kat and Gia and them, all in the same world as the main world that the Ninja Steel Rangers are a part of. I also do amend Dimensions in Danger, where we actually, unlike Legendary Battle and Once a Ranger, we actually get to see more interaction with the Ninja Steel Rangers and past Rangers. Which is something that I'm glad they did in this anniversary episode, because, boy, I mean, when we had Legendary Battle, there was no much interaction with the Megaforce Rangers and past Rangers. Or in Overdrive and Once a Ranger, when Adam, Tori, Kira, Bridge, Xander interacted with the Overdrive Rangers. Also, unlike Legendary Battle, I'm glad Tommy finally has some use of his Dino Thunder powers. When we had Legendary Battle, I mean, when I first saw it, when I saw Tommy's bit in that with the Legendary Ranger cameo for it, that if you go back to my Legendary Battle commentary, it's on my channel, I did discuss about how, you know, when Tommy showed up in Legendary Battle for the cameo stuff before the big battle itself, he had a legend shift of the White Ranger getting a Saba to get that little kid out of that falling car. But then going into the Legendary Battle itself, he comes in as the Green Ranger, and must wonder how did he get his Green Ranger powers again. But here, he appears as the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. If only if he, appeared as that, then the Mighty Morphin White Ranger, then what was the point there? But here in Super Ninja Steel, he actually uses his Dino Thunder powers, and also, well, this is the best thing about this. And twicely the worst thing, since this is all about, Tommy and, Another thing that fans have criticized this anniversary episode is that there was just too much emphasis and focus on Tommy. And again, we have over, at this point, as of right now, Beast Morphers, but before that we have over 140 different Rangers over the course of 25 different seasons. And yet, Tommy is there to save the day. And I'll talk more about it when we get to, the third act of this. The fight footage with the Ninja Steel Rangers and Lord Draven, this was from that Ninja movie I didn't see. Because again, as much as I still despise Ninja for what it was, and from what I initially saw it from 5 years ago, I mean, I'm surprised they actually used Sentai movie footage. I mean, this is not the only time we've had Sentai movie footage used in episodes of Power Rangers. For instance, it happened twice in Zeo, for that one episode of Zeo when they were in Prince Sprocket's movie dimension. Second being the Alien Rangers of Two Worlds, the short Zeo Ranger, Alien Ranger crossover episode. Then Trakina's Revenge and Lightspeed Rescue, adapting the Gogo 5 versus Gingaman crossover movie for that. Then Clash of the Red Rangers in Samurai with Samurai and RPM. And then now here. So this is now 5 episodes of Power Rangers that use footage from Super Sentai movies. Though the fight footage with the Rangers and Draven is pretty short because they only wanted to use a little bit of footage from that movie. And, well, what I liked about this episode of Ninja Steel, they actually shot more original footage to focus more on the Legendary Rangers and the Ninja Steel Rangers facing Draven's Evil Ranger robot clones, which is some originality to it. See, if we had something like this going for Legendary Battle. Legendary Battle, they burned so much footage of what was left of Gokaiger's final few episodes and a little bit of footage from the 199 Hero Battle movie as much as possible for that. But if they actually did more original footage. But again, you know how Saban was and crew during Super Mega Force. It's great to see Kat and Rocky back, but personally, for the Mighty Morphin Red suit, I personally would have liked it if Jason was the Red Ranger. But I get now that we finally got Steve Cardenas back for the show for just probably one last time at this point. It's great that they got Rocky back, but Jason is still the Red Ranger to me. And Kat, I minded her having the pink turbo powers, but it would have been fine if she had her Zeo powers. And also, when TJ brings up about Lord Draven, how did he knew about Draven? Did he talked about Draven with the other Space Rangers? Because again, we haven't seen TJ and the other Space Rangers in some time. Okay, now about this part with Tommy and his evil clone fight. If you go on YouTube here, there is the extended clip of the Tommy versus Evil Tommy clone fight, where there is an additional scene of him, morphing into the Black Dino Thunder before going to Mighty Morphin Red, Mighty Morphin Green and White and Red Zeo. But here in the actual episode, he just morphs into the Red Zeo Ranger and the Mighty Morphin Green and White Ranger forms. But again, in the extended clip, if you want to watch that, go on YouTube, search up Power Ranger Super Ninja Steel Anniversary episode, and find the extended clip of the extended Tommy versus Tommy clone fight, and with the Dino Thunder Black scene getting cut. I mind this fight, but if I get they wanted to put more emphasis on Tommy here, like, oh, it's all about Tommy. I mean, even I remember the promo for Super Mega Force's final episode where they promoted it like as though Tommy was going to lead the charge of all the past Rangers during Super Mega Force, when knowing there was barely any footage of the Legendary Rangers fighting more, but more focus on the new footage of the Samurai Megaforce Rangers fighting in American footage. And finally, we actually got a completely Sentai screen accurate Green Ranger Dragon Ranger suit, because it took Saban 25 years to give us a more Sentai definitive accurate Mighty Morphin Green Ranger costume with a shield, the perfect suit, and the perfect helmet. Because what they corrected from their mistake from last time when they had, when they shot footage of the Green Ranger with the other Rangers in Super Mega Force, if you recall that during when they were filming Super Mega Force in their final episode, that being the Legendary Battle, Tommy's Green Ranger helmet still had the silver stripe left over from Fighting Spirit and Dino Thunder. Of course, in post-production, they would fix that and digitally erase the silver stuff on the helmet and make it green. But luckily, in time for Super Ninja Steel in this anniversary episode, they actually got a more completely Sentai accurate Dragon Ranger Mighty Morphin Green costume with the complete suit overall. Something that took, that's another improvement that they got right. At least they didn't get a Mighty Morphin Green Ranger helmet in time for filming the anniversary episode, where the helmet still had the silver stripe again from Fighting Spirit. As wacky and odd Ninja is, this is probably one of the factors why I never really cared for its Sentai show or its footage. But the dimensional barrier, though, that was basically probably inserted from our footage to their Sentai footage, or no, that the footage of the Rangers with Preston's Dragon Zord, that was all original footage. I thought that was from that Ninja movie. My bad. Because sometimes I couldn't tell in this shot whether if this was all American footage or Sentai footage, but all of this is all American material. Oof, that's brutal with the Rangers falling off by the clones' firepower. Oof. As with any other Power Rangers episode, we've had so many episodes over the 25 years up to this point at the time where we had villains with force fields blocking the Rangers. Yeah, right, Haley. If you should have seen the Armada and their massive army of X-Borgs if you guys were around during that time. Oh, wait, your Sentai counterpart wasn't even brought over to America yet. We had to go through Dino Charge first. Lord Draven is okay, but again, if only they did something interesting with him as a villain for the anniversary episode. I know many fans wish that they brought over Lord Draken from the comics, but again, the comics are its own thing and the TV show is its own thing. Every time I even look at Jason David Frank as Tommy in the episode, he just looks too much like Ryan Reynolds. The morph sequence is okay, it's okay. Although I've seen a fan edit somewhere on YouTube where someone did an edit where they use all the old morphs of the following old Ranger. Now, Dimensions and Dangers' Ranger battle versus the clones is something that Legendary Battle wasn't. And it works. We get less talking during the fight and more of the action. Good. But we still get more talky during the fights. Okay, now let's talk about a little bit about the Master Morpher, because I feel like I'm running out of time. Now, despite that Tommy has the Master Morpher, it would have made a lot more sense for Rocky and Kat to have one too, because the choices of the Ranger suits they have for them here, like Rocky as Mighty Morphin Red and Kat as Pink Turbo. It would have made a lot more sense that, okay, if Austin St. John was to be around Of course, he's around in time for the Dino Ranger team up, which I know of, which I haven't got to yet. That with Rocky is the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. I don't even know if this is possible if he still has the Tyrannosaurus Power Coin or the Red Ape Ninja Coin in order to turn into the Red Ranger. I'm going to assume it's probably the Tyrannosaurus coin, because knowing that the original Power Coins were destroyed during, what happened to the original Mighty Morphin Powers and the Thunderzords back, in Season 3. And as for Kat with the Pink Turbo Ranger, wouldn't it have made sense for her to be Zeo Ranger 1? Also, you can see that the white Dino Thunder Ranger's neck collar to his suit was white and not black. Now, the best part to come out of this, which much to my surprise, once Tommy turns into the White Ranger, I'm happy they brought back Falcon Zord with, courtesy of the Master Morpher. So, last we checked again, but after Mighty Morphin Power Rangers concluded 25 years ago, the Falcon Zord was never destroyed. Neither were none of the Ninja Zords and Shogun Zords. The Zords were just left discontinued. And after when Master Vile's time reversal stuff came to a stop, and when they got the Zeo Crystal to fix everything in correct order, the Ninja Zords and Shogun Zords were never destroyed. They were just discontinued. Now, this CGI on Falcon Zord is a lot better than the CGI Ninja Zords we had in the first Power Rangers movie. Even though I don't like the CGI stuff in the Neo Saban era, but I mind this realistic 3D recreation of the Falcon Zord straight from the Kaku Ranger footage used for Mighty Morphin. At least it's better than how they did the CGI on it in the first MMPR movie. Also, this version of Go-Go Power Rangers is just another remix of Go-Go Power Rangers from Samurai Megaforce, but replacing it with the lyrics of Rangers Together Forever Power Rangers, or whatever that was with the remix there. But again, the Master Morpher, it would have made more sense if Tommy has a Master Morpher, Kat and Rocky could have had ones themselves, since they were both on Tommy's teams. Also, yeah, I understand that if Austin St. John was around on location for this, but at least he's back for the Beast Morpher team up with the Dino Rangers, the other Dino Rangers with the Beast Morpher Rangers, and with Rocky in this anniversary episode, since he couldn't be around in time for Forever Red or Legendary Battle. This is still better than Legendary Battle, because at least we had more interaction with past Rangers and the Ninja Steel team. In this day and age now with multiverse explorations, we finally actually have some interactions with Rangers from different dimensions. Oh yeah, and Tommy and Kat were holding hands, indicating they might have been together for that long. So yeah, that was Dimensions in Danger. Great anniversary episode, better than Legendary Battle, but there was just too much focus on Tommy.